Me all right. All right. Looks like everybody can. Good. Sorry. I got a new computer over this weekend, so just testing everything out, making sure that everything is actually working. I did a couple of tests before, but just wanted to make sure before or while we were on the call. So first of all, I know the vast majority of you on this call, but there's a few newer faces on here that I don't necessarily know. So just introducing myself, my name is Mason Lichty. I am 20, I'm 25, I'm 25 years old. Man, that really does catch up to you. So I'm 25 years old. I am living in Utah. I'm technically in American Fork, but most people don't know where that is. I am like 10 minutes north of like Orem, 30 minutes away from Salt Lake. And I have been in the company for, oh man, since 2018. So it's been a hot minute now. And I actually got in like when really the only thing that they were pushing was Forex. And so that's what I got started in because that is since I was young, I was kind of a weird kid growing up. So when I was younger, I always liked looking at the charts. I always liked the idea of just kind of this doesn't sound very good, but I kind of like the whole office idea of just like sitting in an office looking at charts and everything. Like I like looking at that. I also like all the pretty colors and everything. I always found that really interesting. And so I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but didn't really know like specifically what I wanted to do with my life until a buddy of mine actually introduced me to I am. And ever since then, I pretty much just have grabbed it and never let go. This has always been something that I have always found interest in and have always loved. Currently, I am not doing any of the Forex stuff anymore. I kind of found the whole uh, time zones not necessarily confusing, just more frustrating that it kept closing down when I wanted to do something. And so I actually ended up shifting over to crypto. So I am doing the more DCX stuff. I am heavily looking at the swipe coin. So I do a lot of the swipe coin trades. I I like to show about it because nobody really else has a phone like mine, but mine can actually open up. So I will always have swipe coin on one side, and then I have my broker account or trade locker on the other side, and just able to take trades like that. I really like it. I'm a kind of a techie guy, so stuff like that always kind of made me happy. And so I heavily do that. I, of course, go on the go lives as everybody should. I mean, it's just educators giving you the basics. It's awesome. It's really great. I really like it. Really like mainly Kurt Cobain, but I also like Mike Sotero, Nick Gomez. I like all the educators. I even still look at Alex. No, sorry, we're not Team Apple. I'm not Team Apple here. No one in my family's Team Apple. But anyways, um, I also heavily look at Corinne just because always brushing up on those basics is always really nice. And so I pretty much have just been doing that since 2020, I want to say, and just kind of stuck with it ever since. I still go through and are religiously looking at almost every single swipe coin, not necessarily taking all of it, but looking at every single thing that pops up and just constantly going in with the mindset of I am going to learn. I'm not a professional. I've been in this for a couple of years now, but at the same time, no way am I going to sit here and think I'm the professional. This is what I'm going to do when I have actual educators that will guide me through everything. And so again, that was back in 2020. It is 2024 and still running the crypto. Love it to death. But that is enough about me. I hope you guys are as fired up for the rest of this call as I am. I am actually going to bring in one of my favorite people. I'm married, so she's my favorite person, but definitely this person is really up there on my list. Her name is, if you guys don't already know, Abigail Poston, one of the greatest people I've ever met. She is one of the greatest supporters I've ever had in my entire life through all these years that I've been here, even before I met my now wife. Abby has been like my number one supporter. She has even flown out to my wedding and everything just for like a couple of hours. Abby's by far one of the greatest people that I have ever met, nicest, and one of the greatest leaders I have ever met, both in this industry and in life in general. She is someone I definitely look up to and love and adore with all my heart. So without further ado, take it away, Abby.
Wow, Mason. Guys, can we show some love in the chat for Mason? Bro, I love you. You already know that. You and your wife Caitlin and now your new baby boy. Like you guys are such, you hold such a special place in my heart. And I remember flying out to your wedding. I was like, yes, let's go. You guys are getting married. That's awesome. But I remember meeting you. I literally think you were like turning 18 or 19 or whatever it was. And just so much growth in you over the last several years, and making this about the journey, making this about, like you talked about, just the personal growth, the development, the transformation of your mindset, your heart set, your skill set. And I've seen it not only affect you in your own personal life, but I've seen it just bleed into your wife, into your family. I know that your mom is even doing this now. You put your family on, your brother is looking to start trading as well, and invest. And I just think it's so cool, the impact and the leading by example that you're doing, not only for yourself and your family, but your actions have a ripple effect. And you've definitely inspired and impacted even our team here. And so I'm just so proud of you, bro. Thank you so much for opening up this call, for your loyalty, for your trust in us as a team and just our relationship. I value our friendship, and I'm just so excited for you, man, and what you're going to continue to do and who you're going to grow into this next year, 5 years, 10 years down the road. So I love you, Mason. Thank you so much for opening up this call. And just to kind of kick us off here, guys, like Mason was saying, the Academy has so much value to offer. And when you really start to dig in and you really make this about, growth and development, and not just like, I'm trying to make a quick buck, I'm trying to make some money to pay this bill, you really make it about who you're becoming. You plant your flag like this is home. This is what we always talk about. You are going to find a gold mine inside of the Academy. And that was kind of the first question, at the beginning of the call. I always post a question in the beginning just to kind of spice up the energy, just to get the juices flowing. If you haven't already, drop in the chat what tool, what strategy are you guys using right now to take trades or to take exchange ideas? Who are you guys listening to? What tool, what strategy are you guys leveraging right now? I see Alex, Blaze, and the swipe coin. Oh, awesome. You're using both apps. Crystal, I see you. Swipe coin. Mason's using swipe coin. Of course, go live. Let's go. Marin's using smart money. I see you. I see you. I know you on Charlie's session. You doing your thing. Let's go. I see Lorenzo. What's up, Lorenzo? I see you're using swipe coin. Awesome. Awesome. Jacques going to be on sci-fi. Sci-fi's killing it too. I'm excited for you, man. So thank you guys so much for participating. But yeah, we're going to go into this call. And I just want to say, I appreciate y'all for adjusting your schedules. This call was supposed to be an hour later. We pushed it back because we have some things that we needed to take care of. So I really appreciate y'all for adjusting your schedules and being here on time. But I want to talk about results tonight, baby. I want to get into your next testimony. And really, if you guys don't know, these calls, they're meant to regroup. They're meant to just get us all back on the same page, get us on track, and create that level of accountability. Maybe wherever you're at in your world, in your life right now, it's just to kind of get us back moving on track, in sync, in unison, all that good stuff. And we really want to dive in tonight, just based on the temperature and the conversations that I personally have been seeing with the team. I really want to touch on this specific topic, and that is your next testimony. Who wants their next testimony, using the tools, using the services, using the Academy, maybe even in building the business, creating a residual income, building out a team? Your next testimony. Tonight, I'm going to specifically talk about the tools when it comes to trading. But I want to talk about results. I want to talk about results. And you guys, if you guys know me, I'm not a hype person. I like to keep it straightforward, like it is what it is type of thing. But I do want to touch on the power of results. And I know we love progress. We love and we, we prioritize reflection. We love seeing the lessons learned. And we also want to see some results. But let's be clear, I want to make it super clear. We sow the seeds, but at the end of the day, it's God that gives us the harvest. And so when I kind of frame this call, I want to be mindful in the wording that I'm using and the perspective that I'm sharing. And I believe that this perspective can really shape and help you get your next result, and not just the next result, but being able to duplicate that result. And so if you're taking notes, write this down. I can't control the outcome. You and I can't control the outcome, but I can control the things that lead to it. I can't control the outcome, but I can control the things that lead to it. So I want to hear from you guys. Drop in the chat. What are some things along our trading journey that maybe you've started to become aware of that we can control? Drop in the chat. What are some things in our trading journey that we can control? Let's see it. Let's see it. Okay, Alex said journaling. Marin, journal. Awesome. Mason, for sure, risk to reward, 100%. Alex, risk management. Yup. Marin, risk to reward, 100%. Yup. Jacques, Crystal, emotions. Absolutely. Alex, managing yourself during the trade. Boom, boom. Love it. Love it. These are all great things. I wrote down some too, following our plan, having a plan, our trade management, our risk management, our risk to reward. You guys said these things, minimizing our risk when we're actually in profit, having another thing, having a consistent go live schedule, showing up, continuing to sharpen our axe, documenting, you guys said journaling, journaling your trades, consistently taking trades, consistently taking the right trades, setting rules for when you are actually getting in the market. Some of us, we have certain time frames of when we show up to get in the market. It's the only time that we're going to place trades. Somebody like myself, I place pending limits, and if it hits my zone, I'm in the trade. If it doesn't, then I'm not in the trade. We're out. So we have these rules, we have these parameters, and we do this. Why do we have rules? Why do we set these parameters for ourselves? It's because we want to maximize our opportunity of actually seeing results consistently. And I don't want this stuff to go over your head. It's like, yeah, I know this, but we really only know things until we're actually applying them and applying them consistently. And so let me hear from y'all. Who knows this? They talk about this on Go Live. Drop in the chat. Does anybody know what are the only 4 outcomes that you should see, that you should be getting when you're trading? What are the only 4 outcomes that you should be getting when trading? Anybody know these? Okay, y'all. Yes. Marin, Alex, you guys are hitting it. Awesome. Small loss. I would write this down if you don't know. Small loss. These are the only 4 outcomes that you should be getting when you're trading. Small loss, break even, small win, big win. There was nothing about a big loss. Nobody should be getting big losses. But trust me, I think we've all experienced big losses at one point or another, and hopefully we have learned our lesson. But the biggest thing when we're going on our journey is we want to recognize that there's only really 4 outcomes. And so when we follow our plan, when we follow our rules, we have these guidelines in place, it can maximize our opportunity for seeing those results that we're here to see. And so we want to operate within those guidelines. We want to operate within those healthy boundaries for ourselves. And I want you guys to write this down. I was listening to Mike Navaret's session the other day, and he talked about this. He said, you must, like, the number one thing in trading and investing is capital preservation. How many of y'all know that? Capital preservation. It's not making money. It's not hitting the 1 to 10 risk to reward. It's not the 3-4 figure trading results or what. None of that. The number one thing is capital preservation. And he said you must go into the market with the mindset of preserving your capital. So when I show up to Go Lives right now, I'm at this point in my my trading career. I'm showing up to learn and study how these guys think, about the market. How is their approach? I want to understand how are they thinking about their trading. So he said you must go into the market with the mindset of preserving your capital. That is my approach. My approach to trading is not to, okay, can I make some money today? Let me get a win today. It's how am I going to preserve my capital? That is my approach. And when you can have that switch of a flip, that when you can have that flip of a switch with your approach in the market, I promise, like I've seen this for myself, you're going to see a complete shift in the way that you are growing your account. You're duplicating your results. So that is the mindset, preserving your capital. Otherwise, you will fall into the bait and the trap of fear and greed. So if you don't approach the market with preserving your capital, you will fall into the bait and trap of fear and greed, over leveraging or not really doing anything at all, over managing our trade, the whole 9 yards. And we are here at the end of the day to follow our plan. Our plan is our safety net. Yes, our stop loss is, but our plan at the end of the day, which encompasses our stop loss, our risk management, all of that stuff, we are here to follow our plan, because following our plan increases your capital preservation, and it also keeps a clear mindset. You won't be comparison, fear, greed, the whole 9 yards. And so how can we ensure this? The reason why I'm talking about this right now is because, going back to the title and the topic of this call, is I want to see you guys experience your next testimony, and not just one time, but be able to duplicate that, be able to share those wins, be able to share, your not just your progress, but like truly your next result in your trading account, your next win in your trading account, and share it. And I'm going to talk about why sharing is so important. But how can we ensure this? It's by following a system. Write this down. There is no secret to success. There is a system to success. There is no secret to success. There is a system to success. We all know what system stands for: save yourself time, energy, and money. We have a system for you to follow to see success. And there's a 4-step system. Hopefully, many of you guys have already known this. You probably have already gone through this, but we're gonna make sure, just in case anybody's missed it. Step number one is make sure that you have completed the Academy videos. This is your system. Complete the Academy Basics videos. That's number one. Number two is you want to set and schedule, or you want to set and have a consistent go live schedule. You've got to have a consistent go live schedule. I was talking with, you guys know Serena. We were talking the other day. We did an Instagram live together, and we were talking about, people that want to quit their jobs, but when they quit their jobs to pursue trading or entrepreneurship or whatever, they've got so much time now, and they don't have a schedule, and so they have so much time. If you have gaps in your schedule, you'll find, like, you'll get distracted. You'll find yourself in places and things, doing things that just aren't productive, that aren't serving you, that aren't going to help you grow and pursue what you're trying to pursue. And so we want to make sure that we have consistency in our schedule, specifically on go live, because that's where you're going to sharpen your axe. That's where you're going to develop your skill set, your mindset, the whole 9 yards, and start approaching these go lives not just to get the fish. We're not here to just get fish. We're here to learn how to fish so we can feed ourselves for a lifetime. We want to show up to these go lives wanting to understand and study, how do these guys think, man? How do they think about things? So that's number two, consistent go live schedule. Number three, use the tools to take trades. And to be honest, I think this is where people stop. I think we get to step one. I think we kind of get on go live here and there. We might have a schedule. Maybe we follow it, maybe we don't. But I think we get to step three. And some of us, why we don't see the results that we see, which I'm going to talk about in a second, is we stop right here. We're not using a consistent tool to take trades, or we're not using a tool at all, and we're just taking the trades that we think we should take, and we're wondering why we're not seeing the results. And maybe, I follow Mike Navarrete. He doesn't really use a tool. He teaches, smart money. He teaches his personal strategy, and that's what I use to take my trades. But I have also used, if you guys been seeing the chat, man, we've been using the harmonic scanner. Shout out to Albert. Like, we were using the harmonic scanner a couple weeks ago, and we took a trade together on AUD USD. Literally, like we were messaging each other, and I was like, bro, like, trades in profit, move stop loss to stop profit, like, we're good. And literally the next morning, I texted him and I said, bro, the trade hit, take profit. Like literally just smashed TP, didn't even notice, like wasn't even paying attention. It was just set it, forget it, and we're good. And it was just like the coolest thing. And so I've been using the scanner a little bit, I've been using sci-fi, and I'll use the tools because it's another way to confirm my entries. Like just like Mason said, like we're not out, like I am in no way a professional. Like I've got a nice trading account. Like I know, like I've learned the skill set and I'm always a student, but I am humble enough to know that I can still take trades using the tools because it's very accurate. I actually calculated. I'm going to share with you guys some of my testimony from these last few weeks. I actually have a higher win ratio using the tools than I do with my own personal trades, which is kind of crazy. But I use the tools too. So that's number three, is using the tools to take trades. It's your personal assistant. I'm going to use my personal assistant to help me get in and out of the market, especially when there's emotions involved. I want to use a tool that's completely logical, that like there's no emotion at all whatsoever. It tells me the three things we need anyways: when to get in, when to get out, and my risk management, my stop loss. Okay, so that's number three. Exactly. Don't leave money on the table. And then number four is plug in with the community. I think this part is like a hit or miss, if I can be honest. Plug in with the community. I'm gonna talk about that at the very end, and I'm gonna, because I love bringing the why into why we're doing things. I don't like to just do things. I like to understand why I'm doing them, and I'm gonna give you guys some perspective I think will help. But that's the thing. So we want to use the tools to take trades. Okay, this is how I believe we as a team, rising tides raise all ships. You want to see results. You want to see, your next win. You want to grow your trading account. You want to be able to duplicate that. I believe it's going to start with you using the tools to take trades, obviously following the system, the four-step system. But I'm going to really highlight getting into number three, using the tools to take trades. And don't just hop around to, I'm on this tool, I'm on this tool now, I'm on this tool, I'm on, no. If you're not profitable doing something, find a tool and leverage that thing until you are profitable, because it ain't the tool. Trust me, it has always been me. If I'm not seeing success or results in any area of my life, I can point the finger back at myself and say, Abby, you are the problem, and you've got to own up to that. You've got to take self inventory, and that's us as a whole team. And so you've got to find one tool, just lock in with something if you're not profitable yet, and use the tool to take the trades. Outline your plan, follow your plan to a T. And I'm going to tell you the thing that people don't do that I think, I know. And if you watch the educators, you will find out. You'll find out real quick, is you've got to document and review your trades. Because how often do we, like, this is what happens, is we do the same thing expecting a different result. And that's called what? Y'all drop it in the chat. What is that called? We do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. It's called insanity. And we've got, how do we know, like, the purpose of reps is so in your demo account is for you to identify and become aware of the mistakes that you're making, and also to recognize that your strategy actually works. You're building evidence and proof for yourself. But when you document and you review, you're now becoming aware of all the things that have been holding you back. You journal and write out, the way that you've been feeling and why you're actually coming into the market. Am I coming into the market with the approach of, cool, I'm taking a trade, but I have at the forefront, it's to preserve my capital. Okay, documenting and reviewing my trades. So if we can do that as a team, I promise you. Like, I don't like to promise, I don't like to overpromise, none of that. But I am telling you, if you use the tools and take the trades, you have a plan, you outline that for yourself, get it in writing. Guys, I write out my trading plan. I have it listed in probably like 5 different notebooks. It's pasted on my wall. Like, I know what my plan is. I follow it to a T, and you document that thing, you review that thing, you have your reflection, you journal. You will get better, and you will duplicate the better, that you're developing in yourself. And so I would love to hear from you guys. Does anybody drop it in the chat, a recent win? I know Alex, you want to drop it in the chat. If you guys were on the call the other day, Alex had a crazy awesome testimony from last week. Like, she was using the Blaze app. I think she took like 9 trades over the last week or so, and she lost 2 of them, but she was up 12% on her account. How does that even work? How does that even happen? Risk management, risk to reward. like insane. And so that was just from using the Blaze app. But if you have a testimony, if you have a win, drop it in the chat. We want to see, we want to celebrate, we want to recognize you, we want to praise you for not just the win, because it's not about the result or the outcome. It's because of the things that you were doing leading up to that. You were focusing on the right things. You had the right behaviors, you had the right mindset, you had self-control. Those are the things that led to the result. And we want to praise the right things, because anybody can get a result one time, but can you consistently do it because of your character, because of your skill set, because of your heart set? But I do want to share this, and I want to edify the platform big time. So how many of y'all have ever used a scanner before? Maybe you don't use it right now, but how many of y'all have ever used a scanner? Drop a one in the chat. Scanner is like, that was the first tool that I ever used when I first got started. And I always like to look at what the tools, what's going on with the tools, just like present right now, because I want to know what's going to be the best tool for my newest person that's getting started, or somebody that's in transition, or needing a tool based on their schedule change. So I'm always testing things out. Like, I have my strategy, but I'm always testing things out to see not just what works, but like, how does this thing work? And I like to document. I like to see the results that I can gain from using the tools. And so the harmonic scanner, I'll share with you guys the last 2 weeks. It's not even full 2 weeks. 2 weeks will be tomorrow, but full 2 weeks. I took 9 trades from the harmonic scanner. Listen to this. 6. I'm telling you, I do better with the tools. It's wild. 6, and this is just 2 weeks. I'm going to document, and we'll share it on the next call. But 6 wins, 2 losses, 1 break even. 6 wins, 2 losses, 1 break even, just from using the harmonic scanner. And these guys, these are wins that the wins actually went all the way to take profit 3. I'm not talking about take profit 1. Like, I'm counting those as right now floating, because I have one that's still floating right now. It hasn't even gone to take profit 1. But the ones that have officially closed, they've all gone to the last take profit on the harmonic scanner. And some of those, it's a long distance. And I'm taking trades from the 30-minute, the hour, and the 4-hour, just for example. So that's from the scanner alone. And then how many of y'all have seen sci-fi? Set it and forget it. You can watch, I know for the harmonic scanner, Camille, he teaches on the harmonic scanner on the Forex side. Sci-fi, I know Tyrone, Patrick Kenny, and his name's Nick Engels. They all teach on sci-fi. Sci-fi is pretty cool, and you only really trade it on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. This is an awesome tool. But for the last 4 weeks, I've taken 12 trades with sci-fi, and I had 7 wins, 3 losses, 2 break even. So the difference between harmonic scanner and sci-fi, for those that are curious, is the harmonic scanner is, depending on, like, if you're doing a 15-minute, 30-minute, it's probably going to be a little bit less time. But for those 1 hour, 4-hour time frames, you're holding the trade for about 3 to 5 days. Sci-fi is like 24 hours or less. So depending on your style of trading, you can kind of find which tool may work best for you. And then my personal trades, over the last 7 weeks, I've only taken AUD USD trades, like just on this one documentation I'm doing. Like, my personal trades, I've only taken AUD USD trades and then Solana trades. And I'm just giving you guys, I want to share this with you because I'm literally just plugging into the academy just like y'all. I'm just using the tools just like y'all. Like, I'm not doing anything fancy other than following my plan and plugging in. But over the last 7 weeks, just taking trades from AUD USD on one of my accounts, I had, okay, this was a little higher of a risk accuracy, but I had 7 wins, 1 loss, and 2 break even. And the break even was one from this morning. And those trades literally were just, I was holding for about a day or two. 10 trades, 7 wins, 1 loss, 2 break even. 70% accurate, 1 to 3 risk to reward. And that, guys, that was a 20% over the last 7 weeks just from taking 10 trades, 20% gain on my account. And I learned this strategy from Mike Navarrete. So for those of you on the call and you're like, Abby, I don't use a specific tool like the scanner or sci-fi, I use smart money, or, I'm learning from, the educator and their specific strategy. Hey, it's all cool. Like, I'm doing the same thing myself, and all of this is possible. You can still get results no matter what you do. Just be consistent. Just have that consistent schedule. Just leverage the strategy or the tool, whatever it is that you're following. Like, you will be successful. You will see results if you follow your plan. And so write this down. We're going to wrap up the call in just a moment. But write this down. Two things. We said this on the call the other night. The Zoom overview, if you were on there, I shared with the newest, prospects that were on the call, newest guests that were there, the team that were on. I said, listen, you need a vision. You need a vision that's greater than your current situation. You need a vision that's greater than your current situation. You've got to have a vision of transformation for your life, of where you're going, why you're doing this. You've got to know exactly where you're going, why you're doing this. You've got to have a vision that's greater. Hear my words. You've got to have a vision that's greater than your current situation. Your vision has to pull you. I promise you, Mason's been here since 2018 because his vision has been greater than his current situation. I can tell you right now, Marin has been here for 3-4 years, whatever it's been, because her vision is greater than her current situation. I can tell you right now, Crystal is still here because her vision is greater than her current situation. All of you guys are on this call. You're still showing up. You're still persevering. You're still going because your vision is greater than your current situation. You're not letting the doubts and the discouragements of today falter and allow you to get defeated in your heart or waver or get distracted. You are focused, you are dialed in, you keep showing up. Even if the day don't look pretty, we still keep it pushing. We still show up. So that's number one. You've got to have a vision that's greater than your current situation. And number two, this is all leading into your next testimony. Number two is you've got to have accountability. You have got to have accountability with yourself. I don't believe there's any form of accountability until you have accountability with yourself. But you also have to have accountability with others. Like, God made us to want to be in community, and we've got a community here. And I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. I'm going to tie it all in. I'm going to give us a bigger picture here, a bigger vision of just like, I don't want to stand still. I know you guys on this call, we don't want to just be where we're at in 6 months and 12 months from now. I know we want to grow, we want to rise, we want to develop. And I promise you, a lot of that growth is going to come from accountability. It's going to come from putting yourself out there. I'm talking to myself too. It's going to come from putting yourself in a position that feels uncomfortable, that doesn't feel good in the moment, but it's going to do some good for you if you immerse yourself, if you position yourself, if you get around people that can raise you up, that can raise your standards. So vision that's greater than your current situation and accountability with yourself and with others. Who gets better because you get better? Who gets better because you get better, and what changes because you change? Who gets better because you get better, and what changes because you change? There are three main goals people have when they look to trade and invest. And I want you to write this down. I want you to kind of identify and find where you maybe resonate right now. You probably have buckets in all three, but one right now probably is screaming the loudest for you. And I want you to lean into that. I know when I first got started, mine was this first one, and it kind of has just trickled into other places because you grow and you develop and you start to see, new financial gains and things like that. But there are three main goals that people have when they look to trade and invest. And this is what's going to help you get to your next testimony. Number one is they're looking to generate additional income. They're looking for additional income. Maybe it's anywhere between 300 to 500 to $1,000 a month to pay some bills, to pay down some debt. Maybe that's you. That's column number one. When you're going to trade, we're not trading like, okay, cool, I got to hurry up and make this money, but that is the goal. That's where you're going. You've got to have that vision, that direction for yourself. Otherwise, you're just going to be leading with whatever distraction is coming with you next. So that's maybe goal number one. Number two is you're here because you want some extra income to save and invest for some big purchases, for some opportunities over the next 2 to 5 years, for the next, bull run, which we're kind of, we're in that phase right now. We are not, we're like, the fear and greed index, we're at like 50, 54 right now. We aren't technically in the bull run, the euphoria yet, but, maybe on that next bull run, the next, whatever it may be, you want extra income to save and invest towards that. I can tell you right now, I know this call is recorded. I don't want to say too much, but, my mom and my family, I helped put them on to investing before, Bitcoin even got over 20K. And I know a lot of my family, a lot of close people in my life, I told them to start investing because I got access to this platform. We now have the opportunity to put our family in position to win, and they're going to use that income, those investments towards big purchases, towards opportunities that are coming up down the road, like a house payment, like a car, like whatever. And I'm not saying to put your money in liabilities, but people have their own goals and that's totally fine. Okay, that's number two. And then number three, last thing is use the skills. You're coming in here because you want to use and learn the skills to prepare and build wealth towards your retirement, whatever that means to you. Okay. But you got to figure out which one maybe resonates the most with you and let that drive you. Let that fuel you as far as the financial goal for yourself, because you have to have a starting point. Okay. And so the last thing that I want to share with you guys is some of you guys were on this call. It was the other week, not last week, but the week before. But we did a call where we tested out 2 weeks ago this call, how to take trades using tools. Drop a 2 in the chat. Who was on that call with us? That was a really powerful call. I had a lot of great feedback. Even the conversations on that call in general was really cool. But we had that call, how to take trades using the tools. And the whole goal of the call was to help you feel comfortable and confident taking trades with the tools. And literally the whole call, we were going back and forth. We were answering questions. People were sharing, their challenges, the questions and concerns that they were having. And we had a conversation. It was a full discussion with everybody on there. And then we pulled up different tools like the scanner, like Sci-Fi, and we literally took trades together. And the reason why we started to do this call, and we're going to kind of do it on a bi-weekly basis, is because I've seen a lot of this in the past, and maybe you guys have experienced this for yourself, but we see two sides of the spectrum. Either people rush into a live account too quickly without using the tools, or it's just very fear-based and they're trying to hurry up and make some money. They have no evidence that gives them reason to be trading live in the first place, and they get greedy, and they lose their account, they lose money for no reason they didn't have to. That's one side of the spectrum. And then the other side is they just I'm just to be blunt, take forever to transition to a live account. They take forever to transition to a live account, or what's worse is they take forever to just start taking trades in general. And so we don't want to be on two sides of the spectrum. We want to be level headed. We want to be even keel. We want to start actually taking trades and feel comfortable, feel confident in what we're doing. Even if we're not maybe on a live account yet, we're in the process. We have a plan, we have a vision, and we're taking steps to get to that point. And so this call has become so powerful. We're going to have the next one. We did the one before 2 weeks ago. We're going to do the next one next week. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on Thursday. It'll either be at this time or the hour that we were supposed to do it at. We'll post it in the chat. But come with questions. Come ready to identify trades together. You on the call. It won't be me finding the trades. It'll be you guys finding the trades, so you get comfortable speaking it, talking it out loud, like getting confident about what you're actually doing. And the whole goal is to see results. The whole goal is for you to grow and not be alone. And so the very last thing I promised, and we're going to wrap up the call here. I want to share this perspective with you guys coming back to community. And I hope this call has been of value. I hope this call gives you perspective of maybe your next step, maybe your next mindset shift, maybe, the next course of action that you got to take to see different results than maybe what you're seeing right now. But I want you guys to paint this picture here. What's the fastest and most effective way to grow? The fastest and to see results, the fastest and most effective way to grow and see the results that you're looking for is specifically here is to use the tools to take trades. It's to follow a consistent go live schedule, and it's to immerse yourself in the community. Why? Because commitment, write this down, commitment lasts longer in community. Commitment lasts longer in community. There is accountability in community. When you immerse yourself in the community, you can communicate where you are, where you need help, where you need support. This ain't just, hey, get started, awesome, you're in, let's go, hope you see some results, see ya. Like, that's not what this is about. Like, I'm still here because of the people. I'm still here because it's people like you guys on this call. Let me pull up the list here. Who's on here? Let me see. All right, Alex, I see you. Crystal, I see you. Eric, I see you. Gerald, I see you. Whose iPhone? I think that's Albert. Albert, I see you. Jake, I see you. Lorenzo, I see you, bro. Marin, I see you. Mason, I see you, bro. Paul, I see you. Sam, I see you guys. Listen, I am here. Somebody asked me the other day, how long have you been doing this? And I had to count. I said, 7.5 years. And they were like, oh my God, you've been doing this for almost a decade. And I said, don't say that yet. Don't say that yet. I said, yes, I've been here for a little bit. And I can tell you the reason I'm here is not because of any like, yes, maybe a small portion of financial success, because if the products don't work, like I ain't gonna be here, right? I'm here because of the community. I'm here. I helped Derek. Shout out to Derek. He couldn't make it to the call because he had prior obligations. But Derek, if you have not welcomed him in the chat, welcome him in the chat. He just got started this week on Tuesday. Bro, I'm so proud of you. I know you're gonna watch this recording. I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for you. He's out here in AZ. He's got big goals, big plans. God's got big goals, big plans for him. And this is just the start. And so it's people like you guys, it's people like Derek that I see that have that hunger, that have that drive. They just don't have a vehicle. They don't have the right environment. They don't have the right community. That's why I'm still here. That's why my flag is still planted. And so the community, going back to the community, when you're in community, your commitment lasts longer. There's accountability in community. When you immerse yourself in community, you can communicate where you actually are, where you need help, where you need support. But when you isolate yourself, you get discouraged. How many of y'all felt that before? You get discouraged. You let doubt settle in. You start thinking weird, crazy thoughts that ain't even yours. You start talking yourself out of stuff that, I don't need to show up on that call. Like, I've already heard what they're going to say a million times. No, you absolutely need to get on the call. When I don't want to go to church, that's absolutely when I need to get in the room. That's why, like, I got to get in the room because I don't want to be there. That's number one red flag. So doubt starts to settle in. You start thinking and believing thoughts that aren't even true. They're not even yours. They're not even real. They just feel true because of your most recent experience. It's clouding all of the other good stuff. I think it's called recency bias or whatever it is. But all along, you just needed a course correction. You just needed a new perspective. And how many people struggle with things, but we never actually talk about it? Yet, how much freedom do we experience, or how much peace and release do we have when we communicate with the people that we are in community with? That we can get help, that we don't have to shy away like, I've been in this place for so long, like I shoulda, coulda, woulda been here already. No, it ain't even like that, man. Like, this is a journey. It's not even about that. Like, there's so much power in confession. There's so much power in just talking things out and getting with people that, you can be accountable with. It's not just, there's no demeaning. There's none of that. There's no shame. Like we rebuke that. Like, there's none of that. It's all about continuously allowing ourselves to grow. Rising tides raise all ships. Yeah, you can grow super fast with the right people. 100%. Expose your demons so they can't hide. 100%, Crystal. So we want to celebrate you. We want to recognize you. We want to support you. Every win, every milestone, lesson, and reflection that you have. So this is the last, I promise, the last thing I'll say. So on our monthly team calls, we're going to do a giveaway. Okay. And I was gonna spin the wheel, but I already kind of know who I'm gonna choose just based on the chat. And I'll explain this here, but we're going to do a giveaway every call, every month, for those that share their testimonies and their progress and their wins in the community channels that we have. Whether it's in Mike's got his organization. You guys, I'm dropping in there. I try to drop in Mike's organization, a few times a week, because I want the whole team to know, like, yo, these products, these tools, they work if you work them, if you follow your plan, if you work on yourself, if you gain that awareness. So get in the chats and share your testimony. So we're going to do a giveaway based around those that share their testimony, their progress in the community channels. And this ultimately is to help you. This is ultimately to help you see the results that you came here to see, that you came here to create. Because what I just talked about, getting yourself in community, putting yourself in a position to be held accountable. Yes, I'm still showing up. Yes, I'm still plugging in. Yes, I'm still making progress. Yes, I'm still doing the things that I said I was going to do long after the feeling I set it in has left me. Yes, I'm still here, even though I've been distracted in the past. Like, I'm present. You can see me. And that's the power of the community. And so share your win, share your lesson, share your progress throughout the week. And maybe you may be chosen on the next call to win the giveaway. And so I'm super excited. I'm super excited for everything, guys. Thank you guys so much for being on this call. Last quick announcement. I'm going to post the giveaway in the chat right after this. So just be on the lookout for that. But the last announcement here is next week. Be on the lookout. We're going to do that how to take trades with the tools on Thursday next week. It'll most likely be at normal time, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we're going to have a Zoom overview every single Monday, every single Wednesday. We're going to be having a Zoom overview for guests. You guys can invite them to the call. Every call we've been doing, guys, like we've been calling out. I mean, the last couple of calls that I've done, like I've called out trades on the harmonic scanner for people to take. And literally the next day, y'all will catch it. We're posting in the chat. If you took the trade from the call, it literally hit take profit. So the guests are able to see that as well. So we're trying to give as much value as we possibly can on those calls and everything. And the last thing, you guys already know, there's a workshop coming up at the end of this month. Find your city. We'll post a link in the chat. I know they're doing one in LA. They're doing one in Texas. They're doing one in Arizona, Chicago, Seattle, and a couple other places. It's a workshop with Mike Navarrete, Nancy Aguilera, Mike Sotero. It's going to be insane. It's going to be awesome. But without further ado, guys, thank you so much for being here. Yet another monthly team call. I love you guys with all my heart. Let's continue to show up, to grow up. Let's continue to pour into each other, be held accountable. Let's do the things that we said we were going to do. And let's win. Your next testimony is coming up. It's on the horizon. But follow these steps, guys. Follow the 4-step system. Reach out if you need anything. I look forward to seeing y'all in the chat. Peace out. Have a good night.